GoPro's ProTune update, more Thunderbolt gear, Verizon LTE is everywhere, TMobile Find, Bluetooth toggle app released, and one unusual ad campaign. It's Wednesday, April 18th, 2012, and this is iWake. I'm Tim Chaten, and this is what's going on in the Apple world today. Good morning, welcome to another edition of iWake. Kicking off today's episode is some NAB news. Before we get started with NAB news, I just simply want to say that I cover this stuff because all of this is pretty much designed to work with the Mac, in some cases exclusively. So first up is the GoPro, announcing the ProTune firmware update. This update will transform the GoPro 2 into a much better camera. So what will this ProTune update include? Well, first off, it'll now shoot 24 frames per second instead of the traditional 30 frames per second that GoPro has done in the past. Also included is a new 35 megabits data rate recording for the industry's highest quality compressed image with virtually zero artifacts. So really, really great looking video out of this. I believe double or triple what GoPro did before. Also, a neutral color profile allowing for greater flexibility in color correction workflow, log curve encoding, offering more detail in shadows and highlights, and it reduces sharpening and noise reduction for improved flexibility in post-production and color design workflows. The update brings the GoPro 2 to the Technicolor standard, used on many other cameras, allowing you to mix and match cameras for a uniform look. So you can grab a Canon camera and now a GoPro, and there'll be a similar look. And best of all, this update is coming out this summer for free as a firmware update. Technicolor's Alejandro Duero, Senior Vice President, stated that Technicolor is really thrilled to make its color science available to GoPro throughout its ProTune firmware update. With more than 130,000 and counting cinematographers already using our Cine-style color profile, we are committed to expanding the Cine-style toolkit and are thrilled to support GoPro as it expands its market base. For those curious, the Canon 5D Mark II uses the same color profile as well as many other high-end cameras. So the GoPro 2, it's out now and was released last year. It costs $300. I have two of these that I use on a regular basis. I'm very excited for this update coming out in the next few months here. Another NAB news are a few notable Thunderbolt devices. The first is a camera from Blackmagic. The $3,000 camera features a 2.5K sensor and works with both Canon and Zeiss lenses. The camera captures its content onto an SD drive. I mention this camera because it's not crazy expensive for professional quality cameras, and it features Thunderbolt, so you can actually do a live Thunderbolt feed from this camera, so you don't even have to record on the SD card if you don't want, on the SSD drive if you don't want to. You can record right to your Mac over Thunderbolt. It's pretty cool. It's coming out in July, and as I said, it will cost you $3,000. Another Thunderbolt news is a nifty little output device called the TTab. So what is the TTab? It's T for Thunderbolt and tap for tapping video, I guess. It's a very small new bus power device that takes advantage of Thunderbolt connectivity for high-quality 10-bit SD, HD, and 2K output through SDI and HDMI connections. This new adapter enables a simple, unobtrusive means of getting professional video and audio out of any Thunderbolt-enabled Mac, including my MacBook Air, out to some displays out there, so you can actually view what you're watching, and it's compliant with 3D and things like that. So it's a really nifty device and really small and tiny, and it costs just $250. The device needs to be at the high end. The device needs to be at the end of the daisy chain if you're doing a daisy chain for Thunderbolt. But otherwise, it's a nice piece of kit to have, and another cool example of how you can use Thunderbolt. It will be available soon from aja.com. Last up in NAB news today is a follow-up from yesterday's Dolby 3D pre-announcement. The Verge got their hands on with the technology, and bottom line, they are very impressed. The 3D works by offering 26 different viewing angles on a quad HD display. The Verge found it looked so natural to look at this video that they almost forgot it was 3D. If you're used to the hassle of, trying to play your goggles, your glasses, whatever it is, to watch 3D, that's now gone with Dolby 3D. The big holdup right now is high-resolution displays. This technology works through a really high-res display, something similar to probably an iPad 3 display. These displays simply aren't out any meaningful quantities for TVs, and perhaps that's one of the reasons the 4K TV might become so popular. besides owning just awesome 4K content, is the 3D aspect that this may feature. So basically, to display this, you need a 4X HD TV. So it's pretty high-end TVs there. So there you go. That's Dolby 3D, and it's a real thing. It's a marvelous thing, and Dolby says it'll be out for consumers in 2013, but only time will tell if display technology catches up by then. Now into some mobile carrier news. First up is Verizon Wireless. The company's announced that it will now cover more than 2/3 of the U.S. population when it introduces 4G LTE network in 27 markets and expands in 44 markets on April 19th. When this rollout happens, it will offer LTE in 230 markets across the USA. So who's getting LTE? Well, a lot of people in different states, ranging from Indiana, Illinois, California, Alabama, Georgia, New York, Maryland, and many, many more. A full list of cities is available at Verizon's website. Sadly, there is no expanded coverage or new coverage out here in Hawaii, but we already have some pretty good coverage with Verizon. Now into some T-Mobile news. Evidently, they haven't been too kind to the hearing impaired. The Verge reports that, citing repeated failures to meet hearing aid-capable handset guidelines, the FCC is seeking a fine of $819,000 from T-Mobile. The FCC alleges that T-Mobile USA violated the hearing aid compatibility order, which requires all providers to offer at least 10 handsets, or 50% of all devices, that support acoustical coupling, and 7 devices, or 33% of all devices, with inductive coupling. The filing claims that the company willfully and repeatedly violated the terms of the order between 2009 and 2010, failing to meet standards for 19 of the 24 months in that period, during which T-Mobile was short by a total of 52 handset models with a deficiency, which gave potentially a large number of consumers with hearing disabilities less choice, and that's not a good thing for the FCC. So there you go. It's T-Mobile getting hit by the FCC with a hefty fine. I really want to see T-Mobile succeed, but so it's things like this that kind of make it sad to see T-Mobile failing yet again. In a single app story of the day, and let's move on to this app story of the day, is the availability of a new app called Bluetooth On-Off. This very simple app provides a quick toggle for Bluetooth for turning it on or off, as the app name would suggest. The universal app costs 99 cents and is a welcome app to have for those that use Bluetooth. Normally, you have to open up the settings app, go to General, then go to Bluetooth, then turn it on or off. That's a 4-step process, and you have to do a lot of scrolling to get through all of those screens. This is a simple tap and tap. That's all you have to do. 2 taps, open the app, and then tap once again for on or off. It's pretty cool and a great app to have. Last of the day, I want to highlight a bizarre ad campaign going on for the upcoming film Prometheus. While this isn't exactly Apple news, it is a fun story and an ongoing story that's been developing over the past few months. As many of you know, Ridley Scott has directed a new film called Prometheus, which is coming out in June of this year. The film itself has tons of mystery behind it, and the plot is really not known yet. Originally, this project was dubbed an Alien prequel, but has reportedly morphed into its own unique thing. The unique part of this movie is not only its mystery, but its bizarre ad campaign. There have been so far 2 videos released to YouTube and other places that tease the Prometheus world. The first was a TED Talk video from the year 2023 where Peter Weyland talks about the future and past. He talks about creating cybernetic organisms and becoming gods as a result of this. The video was in fact posted on TED's website, TED's official website. The video closes with Weyland Industries' link and logo. The Weyland Industries, for those that don't know, is a company featured in all 4 Alien films, and I believe Alien vs. Predator as well. The other video, released just yesterday, is a promo for an AI dubbed David. David's voice and appearance is very much of that of Peter Weyland that we saw in the first video. And this AI basically shows Peter's vision when he spoke of artificial intelligence being lifelike. These videos have both gone viral and a great way to market a movie. These aren't quite trailers, they aren't quite teasers, they're something else entirely. Prometheus, the film, is set in the year 2085, so these videos show you a glimpse of the world 62 years before this Prometheus film will take place. If you haven't watched these movies, or videos I should say, I'd highly encourage you to do so. They are fun to watch and an interesting way to market a movie. Well, that's what's going on in the Apple world today. If you like the show, head over to iTunes to leave a review. Just search for iWake and you'll find it there. And don't forget to subscribe to iWake Again over at iWakePodcast.com/again. Your support is badly needed for the show to continue, so subscribe over, as I said, iWakePodcast.com/again. That's the Saturday show where you get even more content. Join me tomorrow for another edition of iWake. Aloha.